And welcome to the EmpowerHer Play podcast. I'm Yashmin, this is Salma, and this is Shafia. And today we have a very special guest with us, Muslimah, who has been a volunteer and participant with MSA. And we're just going to talk about her running and what she likes to do and how she got involved with MSA. Muslimah, welcome to our little studio.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be here. I'm shocked and surprised to be here, to be honest. So I started attending the cycling sessions during COVID with MSA, and so I didn't know how to cycle. It wasn't a thing for the girls when I was growing up. And so when I found out that MSA were offering these sessions to learn, and women's only, and the instructors are women, and I was just shocked. It was
on your doorstep as well, wasn't
exactly,
it?
in Valentine's Park, and I was just
and
so surprised.
Yeah,
Exactly, and I was so nervous, and I remember you, Salma, there with your MSA bags and giving it to everybody. And and I was just so nervous, and because I've never been to an all ladies sports group before.
Was you sporty growing up?
Yeah, I was just very upset.
Yeah, so I loved playing football and basketball when I was young, and I was into running when I was a child. My dad's really sporty, and even now he still goes to the gym. And nice. But the cycling side of things, it was just for the boys, And I remember asking for one, and I was told that no, it's just for the boys.
Yeah. But was you able to ride a bike? No.
I learned from Salma's brothers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't you learn at cycling centre?
Oh, sorry. At this age now, yeah.
No, I'm saying
when I was younger.
When you were younger, did you used to ride a bike?
Yeah, no.
So you knew how to ride a bike. Oh, shit.
My coach was with my cousins, isn't it? Salma's brothers. They taught me.
They didn't teach me though, did they?
Here we go.
I tried to nick my brother's bike, and then I got beats.
You told me once.
I used to nick his football t-shirts. Yeah, I know. And his jogging bottoms and everything.
Yeah,
and
I did the same thing. I've got two older brothers. So you're not the oldest, are you?
No. My brother's older than me.
Oh, your brother's older.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I used to wear my. Like in the last episode I was saying, I wasn't very favoured in my culture. By anyone.
She was just nodding away.
All my brother's t-shirts.
The old one out.
Yeah, definitely me. Oh,
Did
my
you do
goodness.
basketball with MSA then?
No, I haven't. No. I started with the cycling, and then I went into the book club, because that was also in the lockdown.
Yes.
And then we did do a fun run, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what else I've been involved with. I've been involved with so many other things. Photography, the walk.
Yeah.
But then how did you go back to running? Because you've got all these medals here, which is like really, really good. I'm going to get you to show the camera in a minute. But how did you get into running again?
And not just running, is it?
No.
It's not just running. It's not just a little run in the park.
Alhamdulillah, you know what? I've always been into running. It's one of the reasons why I used to love football so much, because you can literally run from one side of the pitch to the other side, right? So, and I used to, when I was young, one of the things my dad used to do is take us to watch the London Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was rich. We used to live in Shadwell back then, and so it was right across Cable Street. Used to go.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Whereabouts in Cable Street was you?
What?
Whereabouts in Shadwell was you?
Beauty House.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Beauty house.
Yeah.
It means nothing to us, but just
my cousins used to
Shadwell Massive.
My cousins used to live down in Cable Street.
Yeah, my primary school still there. It's actually, I'll come back to my primary school actually in my story. But yeah, so we used to go, and I just remember me saying to myself, I think I must have been 6 or 7 years old, that you know what, I'm going to be doing that one day. Yeah, I just said that to myself and never thought anything of it. But yeah, every year my dad would take us to go and watch and cheer everybody on, and then I started doing that as a young adult, cheering other people on and doing sports just here in the gym.
So the impact of that, because we don't talk about that enough. Obviously, a lot of us grew up and you would never even entertain the idea of your dad or your mom letting you go to a football match,
Yes.
or even to the athletics or anything like that, right? No sport event was sort of like that thing that you would go to. How important is it for our generation now to take our kids to be involved in that?
It's so important, because if you think about, with me, this is we're going decades ago, right? Based on my age, and it's back then.
Don't look
you
a
know.
day over 18.
Say that to me, okay?
Go, Chef.
All right, Shaf.
Chef's gonna do that.
Oh yeah, I saw that
That's
one.
like, you don't look a day older than 18. She goes, oh, you don't look day older than 47.
No, she's taking it out of context.
Take a deep
They're
breath.
jealous.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they're jealous. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
But you know, as a kid, did you say out loud though? Did you say it to your dad? Dad, I'm going to do that one
No,
day.
not
It was
at
just
all.
internal.
It was internal, and you know, but then you know, when I was growing up, I used to do, you know, sports days. You did
Yeah.
the 400 meters
Yeah.
or the relays, and when I used to do that, I used to get such a buzz.
Yeah,
but
me
you know,
too.
it wasn't just within the school. It was Asian girls were not into sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
And so it made me feel like I was weird, you know,
See,
to be
outsider, right?
an outsider. So it's not
Yeah.
only like the older lots thinking, what is this girl doing running or something, or playing football or whatever. It's the girls that are in your
Yeah.
class
Yeah.
or in your school that would be judging you, you know, for playing sports. And so it kind of pushed me back a little bit, shall I say, and delayed my progress now. And so I just used to just do it in the gym and running wise.
But in sports, did your parents come and support you?
Yeah, so you know, my dad, like I say, till this day, he's always like, everyone should be doing something sporty.
So yeah.
Find a game or sports or whatever, gym, even if it's at the gym or a class or at home, do it.
amazing.
Because he understands the importance of health. And I mean, he's got other health conditions at the moment that prevent him from being so active, but even still, he goes to the gym.
Well done, Tara.
Yeah.
We need more people like that.
You know, and to be fair to my mum as well, I think she's a yogi master.
Oh, there you are. You got the whole family.
You know, because she's so active. She used to put us to shame.
Because that was going to be my
yeah.
next question for you. Usually when there's a supportive dad, there's a mum that's going, she's a girl, get her
Yeah.
back indoors.
Yeah.
But you've got to have
No,
that.
but actually,
Yeah, so my
alhamdulillah,
mum, you know, my mum, the only thing it was right, it was the sport attire. Right, you know, and that's still a thing now.
Yeah,
even.
yeah. Got a long way to go with that. haven't we?
But back then,
here.
you know, in the 80s, it wasn't like you had to wear
It was lit.
The uniform, isn't it?
Yeah.
And for girls, it was a netball skirt.
netball skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then in that case, no, you're not doing PE.
Yeah.
You know, it was very much like that. Or you're not going swimming.
Yeah.
But
But even that image of gyms, it was that skimpy gym wear, wasn't it? It was like you had to go gym in that
that attire,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah, and
Tracky
so-
bottoms was very tomboyish, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't sports gear.
No.
Sports gear was completely different.
Yeah,
Different, yeah.
So it was, so it was back then. It was hard, but I mean, yeah, they were supportive then, and they're still supportive now. I mean, we've done the fun run together with MSA, and you saw
Yeah.
my family there,
Yeah.
everybody coming there, and to not only just support but take part because they understand the importance of sports, but also mentally. It's not about just keeping fit physically, get your six packs and, you know, your muscles on your legs or arms or whatever else. It's about your mental health as well.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
more important. I mean, people are realising it more now
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
since COVID, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this.
So how did we? Oh,
Yes, so
What does that represent?
this is a sunflower lanyard. Show your viewers here. Have you guys seen it? Do you guys know what it is?
Yeah,
I
I've seen a
haven't.
relative
I
of mine
haven't,
has
no.
it.
Sorry.
Okay, so basically, what this is a symbol of someone who's got it on around their neck. It could be in a form of a badge or a hat or a T-shirt or anything like this to say that they're neurodiverse. So by
What does that mean?
I was just going to say by neurodiverse, I mean they've got some form of disability. And that can be invisible disability. So it doesn't mean literally intellectually or physically. It can be someone with fibromyalgia, for example. You don't see them always on a wheelchair. And that is a recognised disability and they can wear this lanyard.
so is
Fibromyalgia.
Is it a neurodiverse?
So it's an invisible disability, yeah.
But is that the same category as being neuro?
So yeah, it would be different, yeah. So obviously you've got like neurodevelopmental
So when I think about
disabilities like autism or
autism, ADHD,
and other diagnoses like that, like I have. So for example, I wear this because I'm autistic and I've got ADHD. I'm also dyslexic, that I found out since doing my masters, but this doesn't represent dyslexia. I think a lot of people are, and they don't realise it. And do you know what's masking that is the fact that we're bilingual or multilingual.
Yes.
And that's where I think children, are not being recognised.
Yeah. And you had your diagnosis as an adult, isn't it? Which a lot of people wouldn't even delve into. Even if you know there's an issue, you kind of think, oh, well, I'm an adult now, isn't it? And we kind of just put it on the back burner and say, well, that's how I am, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
You usually get diagnosed as a child. So that brings a whole
So even as a child at the moment, it's so hard. The waiting list is around 2 to 3 years in some areas of London.
Wow.
And and with adults, definitely as well. So I'm lucky that I got diagnosed as an adult. But even to participate in sports is hard.
Can you talk us through the steps that you had to take to get diagnosed?
Yeah, so I mean,
what did you notice about yourself?
First of all, I thought I was so normal.
Mate,
So just so people, let's put it in context. She walked in today. Yeah, she walked in. We're watching her walk towards the studio. We've got a little pond outside, and she starts talking to the fish for a while.
Yes,
For a while.
what do you think is beneficial for the mental health?
Get that? It was the whole. Ooh.
What if you just come up and say hello to her?
She wanted to go join in and see
no, did they not come to me though?
Yeah, they did.
all swam
They
to
thought you
me.
had to, yeah.
Which I did. Technically, I did. Right? No, you have to. You have to love the animals.
Yes.
They get me.
Yes. No, that's
The animals get me more than the humans
Listen, I'll say
do.
hello to the fish as well. Don't worry about them. I'll say hello to those fish as well.
Sorry, go. What did you notice about yourself first?
No, actually, do you know what? Growing up, so going back to with sports, I thought I was different. I was weird. So actually, growing up, as I was getting older and older, I was, especially in my teens, I knew I was different. But then I thought to myself, do you know what? You guys
Not
are
Shaf's different though, is it?
No, she's unique, isn't she? Yeah.
Unique. Look at her face.
I'm just going to go sleep.
No, but I think one of the things was when I realized, or when I was thinking that I'm different, I decided that I'm going to embrace that. And I'm not going to care about other people.
Yeah.
I think the world has got too many haters. I think as a woman, why do women hate women? Like,
Please.
Seriously, don't get me started. It's bad enough that we have judgment from other walks of life. We don't need it from our own women.
Yes.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I think I found out about I recognise my traits through my son. Because I knew from quite a young age, for my son's young age, that he's different and he's probably on the spectrum.
Ah.
Yeah, and he would have been classed as back then Asperger's. So where he's academically bright and physically able, verbally able. But through that, I thought I recognise a lot of these traits because of my youth. And so then I actually went to my GP. And my GP said to me, no, you're not. I said, how do you know that from a 10-minute conversation?
Yeah.
Every now and again that you see me,
Yeah.
So then I decided I'm going to go for a private consultation. And I purposely chose a woman and I purposely chose a Muslim doctor. And she had worked in private and public sector because I wanted to eliminate various things, culturally, religiously, just to talk about my experiences. And an hour she spent with me discussing various things, and she said, I think you should have a full assessment because you are talking about traits that I recognise as autism.
So you spoke to the doctor, you had to go private, but did you speak to anyone else in the community? Because mental health is still very much don't be so silly, you don't have mental health.
No, you know what, I didn't speak to anybody about myself. But you know, when I got my diagnosis and I spoke to a few people, and they said, don't be silly, you're not.
And also that attitude of, why are you looking for something, isn't it? Like, the doctor said you're fine, so why are you now digging for something? Why are you looking for a problem, isn't it? We still have a lot of that mentality.
It is, and to be honest with you, it's and it's not like I've got enough diagnoses, I didn't need another one. So, plus the age. But I just, it's, if you spent your whole life knowing you were different, even now, before my diagnosis, because that's quite fairly new, you're different. I just needed that peace. I needed that understanding of, is it okay for me to be different?
Yeah.
Because even as a practicing Muslim now, is it okay for me to be different in
it
that
is
role?
okay to be different, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
exactly. But this is what I mean. Why? Till this day, we have our own, South Asian women or Muslim women, sisters, judging you for whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their own journey.
Everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not welcome all the time.
No.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't ask you for it.
Exactly.
That's one. But secondly, is that why do you have to judge that person? It's not your place to.
No, just because you're different from them.
Yeah.
You're doing things differently. You might not be the typical person that they think they are.
Yeah.
And because you're different, I think that's their own
Insecurities. Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? I think it's weird that I say this, right? But sometimes it's easy for me to say, yeah, but I'm, like if it doesn't fit in, I'm neurodiverse.
Yeah.
I'm neurodiverse, so it's me.
Yeah.
Because I've got ADHD, so I can be, loud and out there. And you guys know me as that, right?
Yeah.
Loud and up there and energetic. And I actually started ADHD medication late last year, to suppress those so I could fit in.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's so sad, isn't
And
it?
I was, and then I realised whilst taking it that I don't like that person. Remember we were talking about I don't recognise that person that is under that medication because it's not me.
Exactly. And do you know what this conversation is about? It reminded me a few weeks back we had Hashi on.
Yeah.
And she's talking about racism.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. We're different because of something, isn't it? Our colour, our characteristics, our personality, whatever that
Even
is.
just the way we look. If Allah wanted us all to be the same, we'd all look the same.
Exactly.
We'd be the same colour.
And that thing of wanting to fit in, because we do naturally have that thing of, but it's better and easier if we fit in.
Yeah.
But
it's not
whatever,
better, it's easier.
Exactly,
Yeah,
that's
easier.
it. And I think only when we embrace things and embrace the change that we think it's not better. Actually, our uniqueness is what makes the world go round and makes it so beautiful, isn't
Exactly,
it?
yeah. And we need to really remind ourselves is that our differences is what makes us so special for the people in our own lives.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So, and that's so important.
Especially, no, I like that word, Nasima.
Yeah.
Special.
No,
I feel special, right?
So was
at
the
this
assessment
moment.
process quite difficult and vigorous, or?
Yeah, well, the wait was quite long, but the assessment process was quite quick. It is long. I mean, I had 2 or 3 appointments, and they lasted about 2 or 3 hours each.
So what are they like?
Yeah.
Questionnaire type things, or is it like scans?
So they're all the screening, questionnaires, and examples of various things in your life or from your youth. They had to interview my mum as well as a child, how I was, or any loved ones, So after you go through all of those screenings and scores, because they're standardized tests, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things which I'm doing actually a research on at the moment, or hopefully it will be published, is the presentations of South Asian women with ASD and ADHD. Because, so for example, it's different.
It's different, yeah.
And up until recent years, women were not recognised to have autism or ADHD because your typical person was a white male figure.
Oh.
So, so there are so many women that are actually underdiagnosed anyway, and then anyone of colour is definitely under the radar.
And I always think of, like, even culturally, I'm sure there's so much that we suppress because of our culture,
I was going to say
isn't it?
that. Do you think it's because we don't talk about it? We don't acknowledge it in our community that somebody might have depression or might have ADHD, or any
Yeah.
other neurodiverse.
Yeah, because it's stigmatized, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, straight away it's like, oh, this person's defected. We can't, like, for example, for marriage,
Yes.
straight away,
yeah.
you know, no go.
Yeah.
Like, can't have that, you know.
Exactly.
Or if you're divorced, no.
Yeah.
Damaged
Yeah.
goods, you know. So it's who put all this judgment? Allah didn't put all those judgments.
Exactly.
No.
And
It's
people
not
are
the
afraid
sunnah.
of those
Yeah.
little labels, but what you've done is you've embraced that, isn't it?
Yes.
It's made you, like, you know, almost accept yourself, accept
Yeah.
those changes,
Yeah.
kind of come to peace with
I
it as
think
well,
as
isn't
well,
it?
because she's so open about it. I think it makes us understand her more as well,
Yes.
and like appreciate
Definitely.
you more.
Yeah, I'm
We're
trying
not
to.
gonna
Yeah.
say you're different. I'm not saying because I didn't recognize you had any sort of like. I just
Yeah.
liked your personality.
Yeah.
Your fun
If you were
character.
normal, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be friends.
Yeah, if you were normal, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So
Remember, Shaf, when we've been out a few times, and I said to you, you know what, I haven't taken my medication.
Yeah.
And I purposely didn't, because I thought, you know what, I'm going out with friends
To go and, you
to
know,
be
relax.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
You
The
know,
true
I don't want to
version
be.
of me.
I don't want to be this suppressed me, so
Yeah.
I can be accepted. They already, you guys already accepted me
Yes,
for me. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
So my true friends don't want me under chemicals.
No,
You know, they
exactly.
want me for me. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
yeah.
The way I am naturally, right?
Yeah.
And if I say anything and it happens out of term, or if I do something, it's like then you take me to a side saying,
But
you know
that's
what?
the same
Yeah.
with everybody, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like,
Right, you do that with, from love.
Exactly.
You come from a
yeah,
place of
absolutely.
love,
Like,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all make mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
of course.
Yeah, that's
So,
it.
but unfortunately, I've been judged so drastically to the point where I've had to have therapy to get through this judgment.
Really?
Over the years, yeah, and because people are just so quick to judge, and
Yeah.
back in sports, there are so many people judging you for playing sports as well, and so I take a stand now. So you know, no way. If
I
you want
think that was one of the biggest challenges I faced when
Yeah.
I started MSA. It's like, why
Why
do you
you-
want women to play sports for? What's
Yeah.
you know? Why are you taking them out the house? Why are you encouraging them
Why are you
for?
corrupting
Yeah,
them?
corrupting
you're
almost. And
corrupting.
you're thinking, right, you take 2-3 hours to your football session, to your
Yeah.
badminton session.
yeah.
Does your wife say anything? No. So let
Yeah.
her have her time
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah,
It's important, right?
Yeah.
It is very
Do
important.
you feel the sport helps with your neurodiverse?
So what I decided,
Sorry, I don't
I think
do
we talked
stuff
about
I was gonna say, but
oh yeah, you know, I mean, we were
sorry.
talking about running, weren't we, a bit? And one of the things that helps people with ADHD is obviously to get rid of this excessive energy. But all equally though, we suffer from lack of motivation because our dopamine level naturally is so low, and a 10-minute run can really help me to write, say, 2,000 word essay. So I realised actually that's something I need to integrate back into my life, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me. And obviously I wanted to find a club that accepts not only neurodiverse people but women of colour, and then caters for the fact that I'm a Muslim. So I've got a certain attire about me. I'm not going to come in there with hot pants to run in, you know. Well, maybe no. You know, only in the bedroom.
Oh, that treadmill, I've seen a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, I've got a treadmill at home, and yeah, it's my poor treadmill. So I found a club called She Runs, and it's founded by a sister called Nazarene, and she exactly the same reason. She started running, and she couldn't see people like us running. And so whilst I was 6 years old, I didn't see a difference.
Yeah.
But when I made that choice of like, I'm going to be running over on that side one day, as I was getting older, it's like, no, it's not a place for me.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a place for me. I'm coloured, but it's not a place for me. I wear hijab,
Yeah.
and it's definitely not a place for me when I'm wearing an abaya or
Exactly.
baggy clothes to run in. So when I found this club, She Runs, Nazarene was so accommodating, like you guys, you know, with your sports, and so accommodating. All the coaches are female, and they help you with whatever you want to wear, in terms of obviously teaching you about your techniques and things like this. But more importantly, you know, when we say as women, no, we can't do it, and we have 100 reasons for not wanting to do it, and these are the barriers that this running club, that it breaks all those barriers, or MS, and you guys do the same. You break those barriers. It's not about you not being able to do it because A, B, and C are telling you whatever they're saying. You know, you can do it. Just get to the start line, and then you will finish.
That's it.
But if you don't get to the start line, you can't finish, can you?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And so that's been great because of
gonna
that
go for
breaking
marathon one
barriers
as well,
in that
yeah.
way.
So
I've
talk
got
about your 3 medals here.
I've got, you know, this is another ADHD thing. So when I decided I'm going to start running, I thought straight away,
You want a collection.
I want a collection. So what I did was, no, you know what I did? So I signed up for the London Marathon through the ballot. And I just made a dua. I wasn't training at that time, really. And I made a dua. And I made a dua to Allah. I said, you know what? If this is for me, then grant it for me. And if it's not for me, then take it away from me and then grant me what is good for me. That's it. And I made peace with it, you know. And Alhamdulillah, I got the place.
Yes.
And the London Marathon.
So the London
The
Marathon.
London
you
Marathon
panicked.
2025.
And
And
then
then
you
I panicked. I'm like, I opened the email and I closed it again.
If I don't see it, it's gone.
You know, it didn't happen.
It's not real.
You know, 'cause
So
you
like-
hear about it. So many people apply every year and they don't get
Yeah,
it.
no.
And I just applied, and I'm not even training,
No.
and I got it. No, it didn't happen. You know, I read it wrong. It's okay. And then it took me a week to go back to that email.
Wow.
I said, I better read it. You know, people in the running club are talking about, you know, have you got, any news? And I was like, so then, so Alhamdulillah, I got it. I've got in. So that's 2025.
Yes.
And then I thought, right, got to start training. And then came an opening for the big half. So again, organised by the London Marathon team. And
Do they not encourage that? Like, do the half before you do the full? Do they not do
don't
that?
you think that's very normal? Would you do a 5K
Isn't
maybe,
it?
and then 10K?
Yeah.
Half? No, not me, right?
Not Muslimah, right?
Not me. I went in, right?
I do things in
How often
Yeah.
are you
The full
training
one.
though?
So I'm sure. Well, this is it. I haven't started my London Marathon training yet, and that will be intense.
Okay.
Because
So
Ramadan's coming up in between the training and, and the race,
So
right?
I mean, I plan to be ready for the London Marathon by the end of February. That's my intention.
Inshallah.
Yeah,
So
inshallah.
remind us how long that is again.
How many kilometres?
How long
miles?
is them? Oh.
32 miles, isn't it?
42?
40.
26 miles,
Miles,
42,
42 kilometres.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of a lot, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Isn't it, baby? But I decided to do the half.
Shut up to the camera.
Yeah.
This is the big half. So this was my first ever public run. And
How did you
Can we see
feel?
it?
that was
Yeah, what were you feeling?
it's quite heavy,
Muslimah?
isn't it? It's quite heavy.
I'm jealous for it.
She needs half only, though, isn't it? Oh wow! Oh, that is nice. And it's
Yeah,
got like
like
a
13
little
miles,
picture
half.
and a map, and
So this is half the route of what I'm going to do in the London Marathon. And you know that the route that I did for that half went past Shadwell, and it went past my school,
Cable Street,
Bluegate
innit?
Fields.
Oh, did you used to go Bluegate Field? That's where my cousins went.
See, we're all cousins.
They live
We're really
right-
cousins. Yeah.
I'm sure
but
we
you know,
are.
like, yeah. But I was just thinking
We're
about your
not as in
dad.
one,
Like,
Yeah.
how
we're
must
all
it feel for your dad to think one day I
Yeah.
stood here with a 6-year-old Nasima
Yeah.
watching and inspiring her?
See, he doesn't know yet. I haven't told him that I actually got placed in the London Marathon.
Okay, sorry,
because-
Just let that out of the bag.
whoopsie.
No, that's fine. I mean, I was just, you know what? I was going to tell him after I did the big half. And then I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just surprise him when the day comes. Because imagine, like, I don't know, for some reason I can't do it. And I didn't want to disappoint him.
Oh, bless him.
That's just
but-
you overthinking
No,
it.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
already,
yeah.
He'll be
Yeah.
proud,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, no, exactly. And so, you know, this London Marathon, whilst I had a dream and I want to do it, but you know what? This is all for my dad, because he has been my role model when it comes to keeping fit. I'm not going to get emotional. Getting out there, standing up for yourself and advocate for yourself, and don't take no nonsense from people. He's very out there like that, and so in that
Swear
sense,
we're related, man.
Yeah, you're trying to work it out, aren't you? You're trying to work it out. Her head is going trying to work out the family tree.
So you know, it was emotional. I walked past, so I didn't want to run, and I was almost crying as I was walking past like Bluegate Fields and all of that and Wapping, because this is where I made that, I had that dream, I made that promise to myself, and I'm finally going to do it. Breaking barriers. Yes, I'm Asian. Yes, I'm a woman. Yes, I'm Muslim. And yes, you might think I'm overage, but guess what? I'm doing it.
You go, girl.
You do. Exactly.
So that's what,
well done.
And to be honest, this motivation and this energy, firstly, from Allah, obviously,
yes,
and my family, but then Shiran's also does that. They actually motivate every single woman that comes through the doors in this way, that you have a place in sports, period. Go and get it. And that's what I want to say to everybody. Do not let, negative chit chat or negative people stop you from doing what you want to do, especially when it comes to sports or keeping fit or active, because that is not wrong. It's not against your religion. And the people that stopping you are just haters. That's it.
Well
That's
said.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
What are the other ones?
So this one is Run to the Future.
Oh,
This one's a heavy one.
Look at
That's a massive
can
one.
I hold it? Oh, it's too heavy for me.
So this one
are
was
nice
around
ones,
Olympic
man.
Park, and
Oh, the Olympic Park
Yeah,
one.
this one was at Olympic
Oh,
Park.
look, and it's in Braille as well.
Yeah.
Do you see
Because
that?
so this was open to all.
wow.
When I say all,
Yeah.
any sort of disability.
Even the
Yeah,
Black Heart one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
2K and 5K they did.
Anyone that had
You could have done
disabilities.
2K, innit?
Yeah, we could have a
That's
nice
what I said to
medal.
you, Sal.
Is it the one that was last
What's
week
the
or
flag?
something?
The
No.
week before.
Oh, week before. Oh, well done, Nisima.
Yeah.
What's the flag?
That's England's flag.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. Redesigned.
This one's made of 100% recycled zinc.
Oh, how
Yes,
do you know?
it is.
Yeah, sorry, just like, do you want to see that one? There you go.
And this one, read the back of this one. So this one is the Vitality one I just did last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Oh, well
10K.
done.
Oh, is that
that's
why you
nice.
wasn't at the boat race?
Yes,
Oh,
sorry.
yes, that's why, yeah.
Congratulations.
You
know.
Say to Sal,
Sal
her
is
head's
buzzing.
even
Hold on,
bigger.
let me pick up my trophy.
I know, looking at that.
Go on, show it, Sal. Go
I
on.
was looking at it, I was like,
I
you
didn't
know,
just know
there's
that.
me with my medals. Let me put
Yeah,
that away.
no.
Oh, wow,
It's a nice episode of all the
That's
awards.
nice. So have you got a little cabinet for them now?
Yeah, do you?
I've got a box at the moment.
so what's
Oh,
with
box.
zinc? Everyone's making it with zinc.
So recyclable, and and they give you a t-shirt as well. Again, recyclable materials being used. I think with these runs, why it's so important is that when you're running you look around and you look around. Can you see women? Can you see people of color? And can you see spectators supporting those people?
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking out for, because that was me when I was a kid, and that was me as a young adult doing
But then you
it.
talk about Wapping and Shadborough, it's
Yeah.
full of South Asians and ethnic,
Yeah.
it's very ethnically diverse.
Yeah.
So you'd expect them to be on the street supporting, right? But
Yeah.
I know this from growing up, because I used to go to my cousin's house. When it was on,
Yeah.
everyone just shut themselves away in flats.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
no
it was a
one was
nuisance.
there.
The
Yeah,
roads are
nobody was
closed.
there.
It was a
Yeah.
nuisance.
I've never
Supporting.
seen the marathon. I've never been out on the road to see it. I watched
I've
it on
seen
TV.
it from a-
Really?
from the
I watch it on
flats.
TV.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something now, and I know it's 2024, but there were so many women. There were so many women of colour, and I saw so many women with hijab on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spectators, there were sisters, and this shout out to the sisters, I don't know who you are, with halal sweets
Oh.
and banners, because you need that energy boost
Yeah.
when you're running.
Yeah.
And they had halal sweets for everyone.
Yeah.
And cheering you on, and they don't know you. And that was so nice to have Muslim spectators along, not down East London, unfortunately, but they were still there, and it's improving and increasing.
We'll go next year, though, innit?
Yeah.
We'll go
Yeah,
in
we
the
have
senior
that.
t-shirt.
I mean, this year, I think with the London Marathon, so basically for 2025, I think it's the closest they've had an equal of
Men and women.
candidates applying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, MSA is going to take part, so we've got some runners in there next year as well. So it'll be a
Yeah.
good
So
representation.
we've got people doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
how
yeah.
many people?
With the application is still up, but Zakir's already got a few applications.
I'm
the
not
links are
surprised.
going,
That would have been me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No,
But thank you
definitely.
for coming on, Nasima.
Oh,
It's been
hold
really
on, I'm not done with her.
Oh.
Where's her first one? when we went to the fun run. That was your first run. She's forgotten where it all started.
Oh yeah, that was my PB. That fun run was my PB actually. Yeah, no, that was awesome. I think, you know what, that fun run reminded me that I need to get back on track.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun
Definitely.
day.
Yeah, that was a really good day.
Now you can.
No. Thank you, Nasima. It was really interesting talking to you, and thank you for being open and sharing a lot of information.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nasima.
Thank you for watching the Empower Her Play podcast. You can download all previous episodes from wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. We need your subscriptions. See you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.